Okay, Wednesday morning in the kingdom and no pallet. Yes, it made it to Thompson overnight, and then it was supposed to get to Grief Rapids yesterday for Johnny G to bring over this morning. But nope, way too much groceries in the truck. Oh my, first time ever they've ordered this much groceries for the town of WHO-ville. So our pallet got set aside. That's normal. Nobody cares. This morning woke up to 0 temperature, but feels like -5. Yes, it's chilly out here. And then on the yo-yo scale, plus 32 Fahrenheit, which is water freezing. But feels like plus 23. Ooh, that's so chilly. Yeah. All right, so no pallet. Today will be a shop day, and we have to thank everybody for Sir Rodney's birthday wishes. He feels so loved, not like me in grade 3. I spent a couple of years there, and I didn't get many birthday wishes in grade 3. Yeah, so I didn't feel very loved back then. All right, so yesterday, the gravel truck showed up back down there and started dumping gravel. Yes, gravel and sand to make more cement. So I did the common courtesy thing, phoned Calgary to corporate office, the bulk fuel guys that own that property, and the cement guys are trespassing on it. So I phoned the guy up. I said, hey, they're dumping gravel. All of a sudden, this guy used to be the tough guy. When I first called him, he was going to come to WHO-ville himself personally and kick some ass for those trespassers and everything like that. And now I'm talking to a totally different person, Dr. Heckle and Mr. Hyde. I'm talking to some guy with no balls. Yes, no balls. Yes, his mummy probably wouldn't have allowed him to come to WHO-ville. Yes, his mummy. So I just shake my head. Total waste of frickin' time. So go ahead, trespass on somebody else's property, nothing happens. The environment, nothing happens. But me, yes, me, goes down there to fix the road, put a culvert in, to drain the water, and I touched the acid tailings, and I'm facing a $14,000 fine within 24 hours. Yeah, look at this. We have a cement plant, all this gong showism going on. Unfrickin' real. Nothing happens after a month. So I just laugh at this guy. When I called him up the first time, he was Mr. Leahy from the Trailer Park Boys. I am the liquor. I am the environment. I'm going to come there and kick ass. Yeah, well, he's got no balls because his mummy said he couldn't come. I just laughed my head off at these guys. This is a screwed up world we live in. Oh well, so now when they're going to be mixing cement in the winter, they're going to snowplow me in, block me in just like before. Oh well, so that's the dramas. So it's best not to, be courteous and help people out because they don't care. Yes, they don't care. Yeah, nobody cares. But that's okay. I just laugh at that guy. Mr. Tough Guy, Mr. I'm going to do it all. But in the end, nothing. Weak as water, as Mrs. Slocum would say on Are You Being Served? Yes, Are You Being Served? That was a good show back in the day. And Mrs. Slocum and her pussy. Oh, yes. Weak as water. All right, so today we're going to hide in the shop. We got the stoves going. Hopefully no drama. Maybe I should just put my, darker glasses on so I don't see things happening here in WHO-ville. Because nobody cares, even if it's against the law. Yes, the law. Oh, Judas Priest. I fought the law and the law won. Well, I better go. This is a long rant. Oh, here comes the boss. He's pissed.
Wednesday morning in WHO-ville. It's just after 9 a.m. and as you can see, there's not much of a sunrise. It's actually pretty cloudy out. It did snow a tad bit last night and we got a little bit of rain. It's actually supposed to rain and snow again today, but let's see if that actually happens. My nose is pretty sore and every time I stand up I feel my head pounding, so I think I'm getting a sinus cold. Now let's head inside, let the dogs out, and lay back down.
Okay, off to a late start. The boss won't be impressed, but we're always charging a flashlight. Yes, a flashlight, because that's the way we see when we're welding. Yes, as we're strobe light welding. Also, too, over here, we have the little CD player. Yes, back in the day when we were working on the trucks back in '84, we had a stereo in the shop, and we cranked it up and we listened to the cassette tape over and over. But this CD here, so the music of choice would be that German rock band, Except Balls to the Wall. That's a good song, good beat, so we can get this place just a thumping. And also, too, that corporate guy we're dealing with in Alberta over that little mess down at the tracks there. Yeah, it's Mama's little mistake down by the lake. All right, we're calling him Mr. Humphreys right now. Yes, his nickname is now Mr. Humphreys from Are You Being Served? And if you watch the show and know the show's timeline and everything like that, are you free, Mr. Humphreys? Yes, I am. Yes, because you can tell I would say I'm being polite, so he had a high-pitched voice. So over here, sober me left a note last night at quitting time. I got to weld in here. It's usually drunk me leaving a note for sober me to weld in here, so I can actually read the writing. Yes. So we're going to get the rocker panel back on today and do the welds over here. And then fix that door. Yes, fix that door. So we'll have a slow day in the shop. It's nice in the shop. And it's windy outside. All right, let's get to work to impress the boss. Okay, the CD player's cranking it out. And we got this. Yes, remember buying these collections of the CDs? Yes, we went from the cassettes to the CD. And this is Motley Crue's finest. I like the song All in the Name of Rock and Roll. All in the name of, all in the name of. Oh, the glare. It's kind of appropriate. We had to increase the beat or the momentum of the music to bring back the memories, because most of those Motley Crue songs were 1984 and stuff when we were working on this stuff here. But that's when I had hair. I don't have to worry about the hair being in my eyes or face when I'm working on the truck. So we did the booger welds here, got that. And as you can see, we got some nice fits here for not knowing what we're doing. Oh, this won't pass in an auto show. We got too much of a gap here. Yes, too much of a gap. So I don't know what we're going to do. Oh, well, screw it. Let's have some fun. So after lunch, we're going to work on the door. So we got to move the MIG welder around to the other side and perform some magic. Yes, get some magic. We got to make the door bottom. Yes, we can't buy it online because, one, the postal bastards are still on strike and rotating their stuff. Unreal. Okay, now it's lunchtime. My tummy is rumbling. Yes, it's hungry. We're having grilled cheese today. Yes, grilled cheese. Flame broiled on the skillet. Yes, the frying pan. The non-stick frying pan, which everything seems to stick. So I had to know, okay, the 3-in-1 bender brake. Look at the way they have the curve here. Yes, the curve. That means you can slide pieces in and out. Yes. So I had to know if I could build this. Yes, and I can. And I can. Yes, I'm very pleased. So I have to figure out the bends, the cuts. Everything has to be done right. So I wrote on there, up, down, up, side, cut. All right, let's do the walk and talk. Everybody needs their exercise. So this is what I got to build. Yes. We got to make this piece here because it's rusted. So you can see it goes up, flat, up, and kinks. So let's see if we have enough talent. And of course, do you see the tape measure anywhere here? No, we're not using the tape measure. That'll only make things worse. Yeah. All right, slide that in there. So we got some lippy boo back here. We got some here. Look at that. That's 100% guessing. Yes, magic. Yes. So I think we can make this piece here all in one. And then replace this bottom piece here. And then we can do the sheeting of the door. Yes, I think we're going to get lucky today. And I thank my musical inspiration, Motley Crue, those songs from the 80s that got me going back when I had hair. All right, let's go burn some lunch on the skillet, the fry pan.
12 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to make lunch. I've been sleeping on and off most of the morning. Today I'm going to have Campbell's tomato soup with grilled cheese. I'll make sure that grilled cheese is nice and soft for my teeth. Now let's head inside and let the dogs out. It looks like it wants to rain or snow, but nothing has come down yet.
Okay, after lunch in the kingdom and the magical bends were performed or listened to, Motley Crue's Girls, Girls, Girls. That's a classic song. That was good. Even the video was good. All right, so here's my first attempt before lunch. I marked it out. I copied this to a T and made this, but also to the piece we had. Oh, we can see it. Oh, can't really see it, but you can feel it. Can you feel this, Les Nessman? There's a concave or a bevel in it, okay? Because the material I used off the 78 Chevy square body truck had a natural bend in it because I think it was part of the hood line. So we got it done. We're finding out when we do a bend, this is tight and that is not. So I have to learn how to adjust it. And I had no problems at my age with this in here. Okay. And pulling the lever down. Sometimes I had to do two hands, but I got it done. So this is where it's good to have the second lever over there for the staff to operate, because I think that was a good bend. But I'm very pleased how it turned out. And we got the tape measure out to double check the measurements when we were, I would say, right in here to make sure they were straight. All right, let's do the walk and talk with our shiny piece of material. You almost think it's brand new. Hopefully it fits. It does. A double check before we recorded this. All right, so there we go. Lifting it. Oh, we got an extra piece there. All right, there we go. It's the same thing. Yeah. So now we get the zip cut blade here. Nip all this out. We got to keep the material for the side frame to make it strong, and we have to make the side frame over here, but that's no problem. We're magical today, listening to Motley Crue from the 1980s. All right. Okay, me again. I think this is actually the side of the box, okay, because it's got a nice bend to it right here. So this would be the box, comes down like that and then kicked out for the sidewall or the fender skirt or whatever. But this piece had this natural bend to it. You can feel it right there. You can seal it, and I've incorporated it into here. All right. And also too, when you grind it, hammering it to get it flat to fit into the bender brake thing shows up when you buff grind it. Yes, so that worked out very well. Recycled, reused, repurposed. Once again, we don't have a money tree to buy new steel, and the price of steel nowadays plus the freight to get it to the end of the world, I think we'll go around and find all the square bodies of the north and steal the materials. Yes, guy will come out and the material's gone off the body. Yeah, with this zip cut it all gone. Yes. All right, let's continue the quest. Let's get that zip cutter going and hopefully get this door finished today. That will impress the boss. Okay, it's 2 o'clock and the staff is arriving. I can hear the quads and the dogs will start barking. So we did pretty good here with these bends, and this fits in here. Okay, I used the zip cut blade to freshen that up. Yes, freshen it up. I could have used the plasma cutter or whatever, but I chose the zip cut because we're living life like the 1980s. And after work at 5 o'clock, I'm going to go to the nudie bar and have a couple of beers and watch the ladies. So this fits nicely in here. But if I had any talent, I would have kept this piece longer and bent it up. Okay, just like the original one. But I think I pushed the limits of talent with 1, 2, 3 bends. That's like going 2 rounds with the ladies in the bedroom. So what I'm going to do is booger weld this onto here, and that should give it some strength, and then we can put it on. All right, let's go do some firewood with the staff and call it, and then we can have coffee.
2 p.m. and I just got the quad out. Now I'll head up and check the mail, then go over to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to this afternoon. I don't think we're doing very much because I have a head cold and I think he's just working in the shop. Made it to the kingdom. There was nothing in the mail today. I hooked on to the fancy trailer and I'll bring it around to the shop. We're going to take the 48 sedan delivery and bring it down to the shop as well, and then hook these two together so if we do go out on adventure, at least the vehicle's ready. Got the fancy trailer down to the shop. Now we'll bring the 48 around, then hook the fancy trailer up to it, and that way it is prepared in case we go on an adventure this weekend. Got the 48 hooked up to the fancy trailer. We're going to let it run for a little bit. That way it can charge up the batteries since it hasn't ran since the summer. Now my dad's going to quickly sweep out the fancy trailer. There's a lot of leaves and sand in the back of here. I wonder how that happened. 2:30, and while the truck is warming up and charging the battery, we did the firewood. I already filled up all the tubs and put them back in the shop in the hoe shack. I'm officially done in the kingdom. My head is starting to hurt again, so let's head back into WHO-ville. Made it home from the kingdom and put the quad away. I was just heading inside, and as you can see, it is snowing out here now. Can't really see it on the camera, but if I zoom in, it's really snowing off into the distance there. It did say there was a 30% chance of snow today. Now let's head inside and see if the dogs want to go out.
Okay, coffee time in the kingdom, and we're taking measurements off of this door because it still has the bottom. Yes, the bottom. So we're taking it off the, that cross member right there. Can we see it there, Les Nesman? And it kicks up, so you have to make sure you have the rights and lefts of the measurements. So we're over here. At my age, you have to write it down. Okay, so we measured it in. This is the way it is, and look at the space they have. So that's for mass production, so you're not worrying about it being too tight. It fits in, because everything is based on probably the outer frame of the, when it was jigged or whatever. So that's what we got. Over here, we're very pleased. Plus, you got to remember, some of this vaporized. Okay, vaporized, yeah, rusted away. So we're doing good, I think. And we have to make this piece here. Yes, we'll magically make one up here and get it to fit in there. And then once that's into place, we do the door skin. So we might actually get this project finished today, but we got to credit the 80s rock and roll. Yes, Motley Crue. Yes. Yeah, kickstart my heart. Yeah, that's keeping my butt going and then pleasing the boss, getting this project done. Okay, just about 5 o'clock on the clock. Yes, in Northern Manitoba, better known as Wilderness, Alaska. Yes, but in Northern Manitoba. So this was 1984, and I was working on this door for the 39 Chevy truck that I just paid $200 for. I'd be stopping right now to head to the nudie bar. Yes, to be like Al Bundy and sit up and watch the ladies, enjoy a couple of beers. But at my age, I'll have to sit right up close because I don't want to have to put my bubble glasses on. Yes, Bubbles from Trailer Park. Yes. So this turned out to be quite complicated. Okay. So this here's the measurement we were going by. But you got to remember over here, this was vaporized. So we kind of made a mistake again for the first time in our lives. You see the boogerness, the welding? So this actually shrinks down. Yes, it gets smaller, but that was okay. We took the plasma cutter, cut in there. Can we see that? Ooh, look at the boogers. But thick paint will cover that and shrink it down. So that worked out good. So we had to make all this corner here to give it some strength. I'm welding everything on the inside, outside, you name it, because I want strength. Yes, I want strength, and I want it to last another 80 years. So to get the corners here, okay, there's no way I can figure it out. So I figured if I booger welded a piece on, and then I'll use the zip cut blade to cut it and make it round. I think that will be acceptable. Then I can flip the door over and do some welding. I want to get the skirting or the sheeting on top here and get this door done. That way this video is finished as a finished product. We're not coming back 2 weeks from now and saying, ooh, we're going to booger weld the sheet metal across the top. We know this is going to be all wowie warped and everything, but it's either that or nothing. Yes, because we're using the Strobe Light Welder here. Just putting and smoothing along, but we're getting it done. And we're grinding and grinding and grinding. But we're having fun, in theory. Yeah, so we're going to do some welds in here. Trim this all up to make it look pretty. But we've been copying off this door here. So it's a good thing I hung it there to dry by the, how would you say, wood stove. But we're getting better and better with the 3-in-1 bender brake. Instead of making one bend, we're making 3 or 4 or whatever. Less welds and stuff like that. So we want these overlap joints. Like we even have to put a little guy in here as a 90-degreeer because that'll give it more strength than booger welding straight up and down. Yes, because we want strength on this. All right, let's get back to work because the boss will be pleased. We're working overtime today.
5:30 and I'm just getting ready to make supper tonight. I'll have soup with macaroni and vegetables mixed in with it to give it a little bit of taste. Now let's head inside, let the dogs out, make supper, and end my day.
Okay, just about 7:30 and we're not done yet. Yes, we made a hell of a mess. I didn't make a mess. I had a nice fit on here and it was nice and curved, but this piece of shit welder, not being able to crank it down. Like it's at 0 and it's burning holes, like it's hot. So what we had to do, and you can't do a tack weld because all it does is not arc out and then it lifts itself up and then it arcs itself and then it melts it down. It's just a hell of a mess. So what I ended up doing was put the feeder rod in, booger, go over here, booger, and that's the only thing you can do. So you just got to put the feeder rod in and accept, but also too, I had 40 years to do this. Like we had a time we had MIG welders and gas and the things, we could have fixed this door nicely, but nope, I got a booger mess. and let's do a test fit. I did test fit it before I sheeted it in because I had to put a curve in it. See that? A little couple of whacks with the hammer. I mean, love taps and it fits. Okay, there we go. We got it to fit. It kind of looks all right. It's got the little kinky boo in there. Once we splash the paint on it, shouldn't look too bad. And we trimmed these back because that's the way we could build it. Yes. So it doesn't look perfect. It doesn't look right. But I think we got the curvature right because for guessing. Yes, very pleased. We only had 40 years to do it. And now we're sitting here listening to 40-year-old music on the CD player over there and getting it done on a Wednesday night. Oh, well. Let's get some paint on it and it'll look good, and then we can call it good. Okay, there we go. There, it looks a lot better with some black paint splashed on, and I mean splashed on thick. It'll take a couple of days to dry. We'll have to hang it by the wood stove. And it does look a little better with some paint on it, but that's unacceptable. But the thing is, we learned the door's curved, how to make the pieces. So next time we do the other doors, it'll be a lot easier because I've learned a lot. And, you know, I can't really blame the piece of shit Strobe Light Welder. But the thing is, we got it done. We could have gave up and cried. But the sad part is, those are the welders and wire on the market today. So how do the young kids make go-karts and everything like that and have fun like we did? Well, they don't. They go and play the Xbox in the house and don't do anything outside. So there's no creativity. And I blame the new world for their crap. There's no way a kid could build a go-kart with a Strobe Light Welder. All right, let's go check on the flags. Okay, we're outside. It's nice out here. There's no wind. I don't know where the wind is. Doesn't seem normal without wind. Yes, we need wind. The dogs are in their pen right there, wanting to go for the walk. Yes, to go run and free. Yes, run and free. Be free. Also, too, it's kind of strange. The 48 Chevy sedan delivery with that new fuel pump. You have to pump the crap out of the gas because the fuel seeps back down into the tank. It takes forever to get up, and then it's flooding out the carburetor because the fuel pump's putting out too much pressure. So that's the new world we live in. We got strobe light welder pieces of shit and new fuel pumps that are crap. Oh, unreal. But oh well. We chose to live in this world. I didn't make this world. It was, I would say, formed for us. All right, look at the flags. They're in their natural state of being limp. And let's go walk the dogs, make a video, and call it a day. There was a long day. The boss will be pleased. All right, talk to you later.